So we're talking about mindset today, and this is such an important topic. No matter where you are in your yoga business journey, your mindset is something that you need to be cultivating consistently on an ongoing basis. So say hello on Instagram if you're just joining me. Say hi, let me know where you're watching from. We're talking about mindset strategies today, and hello to you guys in the Facebook group as well. Happy to be here with you all. So we're talking about mindset, and these really are mindset shifts that you must work on if you want to build a thriving yoga business. So first of all, what does it mean to make a mindset shift? What exactly does that mean when I say mindset shift? Well, it's actually about how you think about a specific area of your business, okay? So there could be beliefs that you currently have about your business that are holding you back and maybe preventing you from creating the success that you want to create in your business. So it's important to look at this and really to start to bring awareness to areas where you may be doing this. And this means, surrounding yourself with other entrepreneurs who are creating success and learning from them and learning, how do they think about their business, learning about the mindset that they have, and really recognizing where you need to change your mindset and understanding the shifts that you need to make, okay? So when it comes to your mindset. So that's what we're talking about today. And I want to share with you a number of shifts to make. There's actually 8, okay? I'm going to be sharing with you 8 mindset shifts. And these are really essential if you want to, as I said, if you want to build a business that's thriving, if you want to build a business that's going to keep you as a business owner for the long term, okay? So as I said, I'm sharing 8 mindset shifts with you today, okay? So the first mindset shift is really to go from thinking that you can do everything, right? That you can do everything on your own, and moving to actually looking at how you can receive more support, okay? So tell me if you resonate with any of this, okay? So this is a shift that actually, if I think about my own business journey, it took me way longer than it should have. I thought that I could do everything on my own. And, instead of investing in support and investing in my growth, I thought I could do everything on my own. And, and that I didn't really need to invest in other people to support me. So the truth is, you can only do so much. And actually, the truth is you can't do it alone. Being a kind of one-person show, which is probably what you are, especially in the beginning, when you first start off as a yoga business owner, being this kind of one-person show is impossible. When you're trying to run a successful business, it's impossible. And it might be cost-effective, but it also leads to burnout, right? It leads to you working more and more hours, maybe all of those hours actually teaching, and then all of the hours working on your business as well. And, if I could go back, if I was starting again, I would definitely outsource a lot sooner, right? I would build my team a lot sooner, for sure. And this is actually necessary for your sanity and also for the success of your business. And the thing is, most of the time we get stuck in this perfectionism, right? And we struggle with this idea of handing tasks over to someone else because we fear that they're not going to be able to do it as well as we're going to be able to do it ultimately. And really, the solution, like if you really look at that, the solution is actually to ensure that you take the time to find the right people, right? To find the right people for the work and for the tasks that you want to outsource. And so, what we need to remember is those people are out there. They are out there. And so it's important to get over this belief that they are not out there and that we're the only person who can do that particular job. Like, there will be people out there with proven track records and with the experience that you need to support you in your business. And you simply need to find the time, like take the time to find them. And I think, again, I'm just thinking back to my own experiences here, but sometimes, like when you're overwhelmed with all the things that you need to do and the to-do list, and it could just feel like this extra mammoth task to actually go out there and find some suitable people to support you. And so what happens is you end up putting it off. Put it off for another day, putting it off for another day. And this is definitely what I did. In the early days of growing my business, this is definitely what I did. As I said, if I could go back, I would definitely, look at outsourcing and building my team a lot sooner than I did. And, I think when you put it off, you're actually sabotaging yourself, because when you find the right people, it actually makes life easier. So if you're not going out there and finding the right people, you're just continuing to make things more difficult for yourself. And, when you do find the right people and you invest, which is what mindset shift number 1 is about, it's about opening up to support. It's about investing, right? Investing in support. And when you do that and you get support and help, you can then focus on the things that actually drive your business forward and help you to make sales, right? There's going to be a number of different things that go on in your business, and you can start to think of them as like, what are the $10 tasks and what are the $100 tasks or the $1,000 tasks? Those bigger value tasks are the ones that are going to help you bring the money in. There's a difference between scheduling some social media posts and writing copy for a sales page that's going to help you to make money. So, when you get support to help you with those lower dollar tasks, those like lower value tasks, you free up your time to work on the things that are really important, the things that actually move the needle, as they say, help to actually drive your business forward and help you to bring the money in so that you can actually pay for that person and cover that cost. And, I know that that's also an area that probably holds you back. You have to make the investment to get the money back, right? So sometimes that can feel really risky, but isn't that what being a business owner is about? It's about taking risks and trusting yourself to do the work and to, work hard and to make sure that you do make that money back, right? It's essentially, ultimately, it's on you, isn't it? It's on you. That risk is you. You are the risk, basically. If you don't do the work, you won't make the money. You won't be able to pay the person. But if you show up, you're consistent, you work hard, you will make the money and you will be able to pay the person and you will free up your time to work on the things that really matter in your business so you can make more money. Yeah, so it might feel like a catch-22, but you have to make that move. And making that shift to actually invest in yourself is super important. So another area, any ideas, any other areas where you might invest, guys? Let me know in the chat. Where else could you be investing in your business? Another area to invest in is in coaches and mentors, okay? So this is something that, I've done from pretty early on in my business journey, and it's helped me tremendously. Like, there's this certain kind of energy, and it just builds on what I've just been talking about, but it's this kind of energy that you create when you invest. particularly when it's a significant amount, like to want to be able to make that money back that you've invested, to get that return on your investment. And so it's kind of like, this extra bit of like rocket fuel to do the things that your coaches and mentors are teaching you, and to ensure that you get a return on that investment that you've made into them. And so, I remember this very clearly. I remember a few years back, making my first kind of big investment. I think it was around £10,000. And within 2 weeks of working with that coach, I launched a workshop and I made that money back. And so, as I say, it's almost like this kind of rocket fuel that drives you forward to want to make that investment back. So this isn't the same as following, a load of coaches and mentors on Instagram and like taking a piece of this advice and a piece of that advice and hoping that it's going to move the needle for you. Like, this is about getting into the programs and mentorship that you need to receive that support and accountability, and that allows you to really commit to something, right? It keeps you accountable, it keeps you motivated to actually get to the finish line with something. As we know, it's difficult to do that on our own, to stay motivated. And so, that added accountability, the communities that come with it, make that shift into investing into these things, guys, because trying to run, your business by yourself can really be a losing game. When you invest in support from other people, like whether that's, virtual assistants, people to help you with the tech setup, if that's something that's holding you back, anything that's holding you back, or coaches and mentors to help you with mindset and strategy, that support will reduce the timeline that you have to reach the success that you want, right? It reduces the timeline. So, really make sure that you're open to that you're open to receiving help and guidance, from other people, and you're going to be more successful in half the time, I promise you. Okay, so that was mindset shift number 1. The second mindset shift is really about trusting yourself, okay? So shifting from needing to have all the answers, I guess, which is how you might be behaving as an employee working for someone else, to trusting your own direction, like trusting yourself. So, when you're the boss, okay, which you are, when you're the boss, you make the decisions, and so it means you must make decisions. That's important, to keep making decisions, and sometimes, those decisions will be wrong, sometimes those decisions will be right. So the important thing here is to really trust yourself. And, tell me if you relate to this. I'm sure you can all relate to this one. Many times we second guess ourselves, right? We'll come up with an idea and then we'll doubt ourselves and we'll second guess ourselves, and we won't know if it's the right move. We'll doubt and we'll question if it's the right move. And, as a business owner, you have to be clear on what your purpose is, right? That's where you should always be starting from, that place, right? What's going on in here inside your heart, where that purpose is coming from. You have to be clear on that. And so, I really encourage you to just trust what comes from that. Trust the ideas that come from your purpose, essentially, without needing to know if the decisions you're making are the right decisions. And so, it's important, of course, to have goals, right? We need to have goals, but you also need to take actions in order to, reach those goals and make those ideas that you have a reality. And to do that, you need to trust yourself. You need to trust the actions that you're taking. So what can happen here is that, you might start to doubt something that you want to do, and then you start looking around at what others are doing, and you compare yourself to other teachers. You start to view them as like better or more successful than you, and those thoughts, that's really not the right mindset to have. Like, you need to be confident in yourself and focused on what you need to do. You need to do, not anyone else. Always bring it back to you. And that's super, super important that you do that, because if you don't, you're going to waste your energy looking at what other people are doing instead of trusting the decisions that you are making. Okay, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. But first of all, mindset shift number 3, and actually it follows on from what I've just talked about, but one of the key reasons why businesses don't grow is because of perfection. Okay, so this mindset shift is to go from perfection to imperfect action. Okay, so when we're trusting ourselves, which was mindset number 2, we're taking imperfect action, and it's okay. It doesn't matter if we make mistakes along the way, and so it doesn't have to be perfect. Striving for perfection actually holds you back. It makes everything slower than it should be, and it holds back your progress. So whereas imperfect action allows you to learn as you go. Okay, and that's important. We need to keep learning. Okay, so I like to use this analogy of really seeing your business like a laboratory, and everything that you're doing, those imperfect actions, are really just like a series of experiments. Okay, so you start to see yourself as the scientist in the laboratory, trying things out, getting a bit messy, and really just learning from these experiences. And so you take imperfect action, which means you get results. Yeah, it means that you are seeing some results, and you can learn from those results. Okay, you can try again, you can make any necessary tweaks and changes based on what you've learned. So the alternative, of course, when we're striving for perfection, is that we don't move forward, so we can't learn. And so, we must always be looking at how we can keep moving forward, how we can try to get better and better. What I want you to do, guys, is I want you to just recognize where you're doing this at the moment. Is there an area of your business where you're doing this at the moment? So, recognize where you are doing this, or if you're doing this right now, and likely you are, because we all do this. So for instance, is it taking you 3 days, or worse, 3 weeks, to write a social media post or a blog post, and you still haven't shared it, you still haven't clicked publish? Where else are you striving for perfection and putting off sharing and launching and just telling and giving yourself excuses? Oh, well, I still need to find out this bit of information to add into my blog post, or it's not perfect yet, or I haven't created a freebie for it yet, so it can't go live. What are the excuses that you're telling yourself to stop you from actually sharing that piece of content? And what can you do today that will help you learn from results? What actions can you take today? What are you sitting on right now that actually you could take an action, get it out there into the world, and start learning? So, with this mindset shift, rather than focus on perfection, focus your mindset towards imperfect action. Okay, try it, see if it works, try it again. The decisions you make are either wrong or right. 50% wrong, 50% right. If you make a wrong decision, you try again. You use that information and you try again. But it makes you move forward. Yeah, it helps you to keep moving forward. So, using this imperfect action to perfect something meaningful rather than hiding in this kind of cycle of I'm still creating something, I'm still developing something. That ensures you're never going to get anywhere, if you keep giving yourself the excuses. Okay, so the next shift, which is mindset shift number 4, is to know your worth. Okay, is to value yourself and what you have to offer. So I think this is a big one, isn't it? Especially for us yoga teachers who predominantly undercharge. So tell me if this is you. Do you get the sense that you're undercharging? So number 4, value what you have to offer. So undercharging, yeah. So perhaps you're doing this because you don't want to be seen as greedy and, just in it for the money kind of thing. But the fact is, you have to live. So if you actually take some time to look at your business expenses and your living expenses, you'll realize that you do need to earn a certain amount of money in order to survive, right? Am I right? Yeah, it's hard to find the right price. So have you guys done that? Have you done that little task of looking at all your living expenses, looking at your business expenses and working out how much money you need to make each month to actually cover all of your expenses? Have you done that? And what's a really important part of that is paying yourself. So quite often, teachers in our community, they say, yes, I've done that, but they're not accounting for paying themselves. They're accounting for just simply covering all their costs. But what about you? You have to pay yourself as well. You'll find that you've got lots of things to cover. There's online tools, software, maybe there's some insurance, you've got your taxes to pay, all of these things, different platforms that you're using online. Maybe you have got a virtual assistant helping you, and then you've got all your bills, your personal bills to pay as well. So there's many things that you need to cover, but also your own time, energy, expertise to pay for as well. And so, making this mindset shift to charge more is actually going to help to save your business financially, especially right now with what's happening right now with the cost of living and inflation going up. So my advice here is really to value yourself, in your business enough to charge what your services are worth, and to do that unapologetically. This is really about you being 100% sold on what you have to offer and the value that you have to offer. So this leads us quite nicely into mindset shift number 5, which is to focus on serving instead of selling. Okay, so selling, let's face it, it can feel uncomfortable, right? Especially as a new business owner, it can feel uncomfortable to go online and start selling, yeah? And, the thing is, if you focus on serving and leading with value, then you're going to start to feel more comfortable when you have to show up and actually sell your offerings. So what I want you to think about is this. There's 3 questions to ask yourself. How can I best serve my ideal students? How can I best serve my ideal students? So, i.e., what do they need from me right now, right? What do they need from me right now that's going to best serve them? Question 2 is, what can I offer them up front to provide results in advance, right? So this is where your content comes into play. What can you offer up front that will help you to build trust and help you to nurture those relationships, provide some of those quick wins to your new community members, those people that, as you start to build relationships, will convert into paying students. So what can you offer them up front to provide value? And number 3 is, why should they work with you? Okay, so that's really about you understanding what's unique about you, the results that you can offer, how you can support, how your expertise is going to support people, You know, what is special about you? And there's certainly lots of things that's special about you. So just go through those 3 questions so that you can, you know, start to move from going online and like selling something which feels uncomfortable. You can't get the words out of your mouth, like the price, it won't come out of your mouth, like you feel uncomfortable even saying that price, or worse, you're undercharging, right? Which is what we just talked about. Because you're not valuing your own worth, you're not valuing what it is that you actually have to offer. So when you can confidently answer those questions, like that's how you're going to stand out. Like that's how you're going to start building those relationships that you need to build with your community. It's those relationships that are really essential in order to make sales in your business, right? You can't make sales, guys, without trust, without relationship building. And so this is why content and you showing up, being visible is super, super important. Okay, number 6, the 6th mindset shift is to think big. Okay, think big. So I love this one because it's really about having an abundance mindset, and it's so important because it's all about the ability to be able to generate and create essentially from this place of there being more than enough to go around, right? There is enough for all yoga teachers out there. You know, the opposite is this kind of scarcity mindset, right? Where we don't think that there's enough, where we think that the market is saturated and we're having to fight for students. Like, we shouldn't be there. We should really be coming to our business from a place of abundance and really thinking big. And so why wouldn't you think big for your business and your vision and your community, essentially? Like, why wouldn't you think about, you know, maybe in a year's time, think about launching an incredible transformational course for your students? Like, why wouldn't you go all out on your ideas that you have for your business? Like, we're not here to play small. You know, we're here to create impact in people's lives, and that requires you to really think and act in a certain way, in a bigger way. So, you know, whenever you're feeling like hesitant about an idea, or, you know, you're doubting a particular opportunity that's come along or a collaboration, just check in with yourself. Like, are you coming from a place of abundance, or are you coming from a place of lack and, you know, thinking that those amazing opportunities could never happen for you, or you won't be able to pull them off? Like, why not? Why shouldn't those things happen for you? Like, they can if you create them. Like, if you start showing up in a bigger way. This doesn't mean you have to be, you know, extroverted, or you have to be like extra. You know, you just have to be you, essentially. Like, you have to be you, but you have to show up, right? So if you're showing up once a week, you know, start showing up 4 times a week. You know, start doing things in a bigger way. And, you know, it's really about believing in yourself. And, you know, and if you keep being consistent and working towards your goals, then these things can happen for you. So, yeah, just a reminder, really, that none of you here in this community are here to play small. So keep asking yourself, how can I play a bigger game? How can I act bigger? How can I go beyond where I am right now? Like, where is the next level that I'm hoping to be, that I want to be? What do my students need from me? Yeah, to help them with their journey. You know, what is a deeper way to work with my students? Yeah, that would help me to move from just offering drop-in classes to perhaps offering workshops that I've never offered before, or even creating a membership, you know, or an online course. Like, those things may feel like huge things, but why can't they happen for you? Of course they can happen for you. So, you know, thinking in a bigger way could simply be thinking beyond that drop-in class. Yeah, so always be asking yourself this, like, how can I act bigger? How can I go bigger? You know, that's what you're aiming for. It's only the you know, it's the things that keep you playing a smaller game are old patterns, right? Old patterns of thoughts, fears, beliefs that are holding you back. So you do need to do the work on those things, right? You do need to do the work, and that's when working with a coach or getting yourself inside a program is really going to help you to recognize what those things are, those patterns and beliefs that are holding you back and keeping you playing a small game, keeping you from playing a bigger game. Okay, that was number 6. So we've got 2 more. So if you're just joining me here on Instagram or in the Facebook group, I'm sharing with you 8 essential mindset shifts to build a thriving yoga business. We've gone through 6. How are we feeling about these so far, guys? Let me know in the comment box. Let's make this interactive. Let me know how this is landing today and what you are resonating with and what you're recognizing from your own behavior and how you're currently showing up in your business. And perhaps, the penny has dropped with a few things and you're realizing that some of these shifts are shifts that you need to make, which is okay. That's why you're here. You're here to learn. So another area to embrace is failure, okay? And again, this is another shift to make. So shift number 7 is going from seeing failure in a bad way, like in a bad light, to actually seeing it as an opportunity, right? Seeing it as an opportunity. And what we need to understand here is that failure is a reality, right? It's a reality of life. It's like a normal part of the learning process, especially when you're starting a business, right? When you're trying to grow your business. And, if you look at, or if you research or, look at other business owners, and I do this a lot, I'm constantly looking at successful business owners and what they do in their businesses. But if you do that, you'll see that they understand that failure is really, a temporary setback, but it's part of this kind of road that they're on towards success, okay? So they're on a road to success, and any failures they encounter, challenges that they encounter along the way are just literally part of that. They're part of that road to success. Temporary setback. So, if you look at every success story out there, there's always challenges and failures that, those people have had to overcome. So, this is about seeing failure as an educational tool, something to learn from. And it's really, again, it's about you, right? It's about how you frame it. Instead of seeing it as your fault, okay? So this is often what we do. When we fail at something, we see it as our own fault, that we're never going to live it down, and we take it personally, don't we? That's usually what happens. And so we need to shift that. We need to start seeing failure in a completely different way and not take it personally, not take it personally. So, maybe your approach failed, maybe you made some mistakes, but you as a person didn't fail, right? You as a person didn't fail. You're still there trying to work towards your mission, and get your business up and running so you can create impact in your students' lives. You're still there showing up every day. You haven't failed. And so really, it's our ego, isn't it? It's our ego that tells us that we're a failure. We're never going to be able to do it. That teacher is doing it better than me. They're always going to have more success than me. They didn't fail. That's our ego, right? Our ego is blinding us to the lessons that actually come with the failure. So I think about, if you think about any area of your life, like not just your business, our biggest downfalls often become our biggest victories, don't they? Right? Our biggest lessons in life that can really help you to turn a page. And so much can come from that. Like so much success can come from that. And I've experienced many setbacks, like many failures, multiple times in this business and in my previous business. But I've conditioned myself or I've conditioned my mind to look at those challenges and failures as opportunities to learn and to grow and to take my business maybe in a different direction, but ultimately to take my business to the next level and to not feel defeated by it. You know, that's super, super important. The more we feel defeated, the more we stay stuck and we, you know, start to feel sorry for ourselves, and it just becomes a pity party. Like, we don't want to be that. So, you know, someone who has succeeded many times in something has actually failed more times, you know, more times than they succeeded. So yeah, start to look at this and just recognize, how do you currently deal with failure? What are you telling yourself when you make mistakes? Yeah, this is important. It's an important first step. Awareness is always the important first step, you know, recognizing what it is that we're actually doing, because sometimes we just kind of, you know, carry on, and we don't actually take a moment to think about, what are my beliefs around this? Like, what am I actually telling myself? Like, what's the conversation, the narrative that I'm having here? And is it related to a past trauma or pattern or belief system that I need to do some work to start actually dismantling? Yeah, so that I can make that shift and stop thinking about this area of my business in this specific way that's holding me back, right? Super important. Bring awareness to yourself. Know yourself. Okay, so the final shift is to move from this belief that you can get rich quick. Yeah, that you can get rich quick and that overnight success exists, okay? And instead understand that building a profitable online yoga business takes time and it takes effort. So again, I think a lot of this comes from or is part of imposter syndrome. You know, when we start to look around at everybody else and we see how successful they are and that they've had this overnight success and everything looks perfect, and we don't know what actually went on behind the scenes to get someone there. You know, it could be a journey that they've been on for years and years and years, and we've not seen the blood, sweat and tears that they've had to go through to get to where they are. And so we see these kind of like overnight successes. And, you know, of course, you know, we're all inspired by making money, right? And having this kind of financial freedom, I guess, that, you know, that we hear about, especially with like online businesses. But the truth is, like, if you want to achieve massive success in your business, you need to put the work on. You need to put the work in. You need to put the work in. You need to put in the hard work. It doesn't just get handed to you on a plate. You know, there really is no such thing as this overnight success, and taking shortcuts really is going to cost you more further down the road. Okay, so you do need to be willing to invest the time, money and effort, right, into things like understanding who your ideal student is. Yeah, that's a big one. We know that's a big one. For all you regular listeners, you know that that's a big one. Understanding what they need and how you can best deliver that with your online offerings, and, you know, in a way that's unique from other yoga teachers who are also kind of offering things in your space. And really, you know, spend time laying a solid foundation, right? Decide on a niche, create a content plan and strategy, you know, build your network, show up, be visible, launch your offerings. Yeah, all of these areas where you need to have a solid foundation, particularly with a niche and with content, yeah, and offerings that are going to provide solutions to your ideal student in that niche space. That is a solid foundation, right? That is like what I like to call the root chakra of your business. You know, get that in place, work on it. And if you don't know how to work on that, guys, come and join us inside Yogipreneur Launchpad. Like, that is what that program is all about. It's about the solid foundations. Again, don't, stop yourself from being able to move forward. Like, stop holding yourself back from receiving the support you need to be able to move forward, because the support is there. So, you really do need to look at what are those strategies that I need to have in my business to build that solid foundation that's going to help me to build something that I'm going to have for years to come, because this isn't a get rich quick scheme. Like, that's not what this is about. And that doesn't work. Like, any kind of coach out there that's telling you can make 10 grand overnight or 6 figures in a week or whatever, like, they're not giving you the full picture. They're fibbing, right? They're fibbing. You need to think long term, okay? And you need to do the work, and it is work. You need to do the work to set yourself up for that success. Like, set yourself up for that long-term impact that you want to create and the long-term success that you want to create. So there you have it, guys. I've talked to you today. I've shared with you 8 mindset shifts that are essential to make if you want to build a thriving online yoga business. So as I said, if you need support with any of this, we really do cover mindset work. It's a huge piece. It's a huge piece. I always say it's like, the 80-20 rule. 80% is mindset, 20% is strategy. Like, the best strategies, if you have the best strategies in the world, like, they are not going to work if your mindset is not on point, if you are not cultivating your mindset every single day, right? You need to be working on this stuff every single day. So we do cover this inside Yogipreneur Launchpad. In fact, all of my programs cover the mindset work because it's so key. But we start with it inside that program so that you can continue to cultivate it as you move through the 16 weeks. If you want to go and take a look at that program, it's yogipreneurlaunchpad.com. You can join it at any time. It's an evergreen program. You will join, you'll get 16 weeks of access to our Facebook community and also weekly live Q&A mentorship sessions where you can get your questions answered and get one-to-one support within the group mentorship. And yeah, there's like 11 modules of content to work through. So it's an incredible program. It's definitely for you guys if you are new to all of this, if you're new to building those foundations and marketing strategies. And if you have any questions whatsoever, just reach out to myself, reach out to the team. You can DM on Instagram, you can send me a message, a personal message on Facebook, or send us an email, support@digitalyogaacademy.com. Okay, perfect stuff. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. See you all soon. Take care. See you next week. Bye-bye.